Again, I'm not expecting big things from Ricky Rubio immediately. I don't think anybody should. I think that he's overpriced right now. Sasha Vazenkov agrees. Javier, everyone's overpriced.
This is the EuroLeague Fantasy Challenge Podcast with Javier Gancedo and Frankie Sachs.
Welcome to episode number 24 of the EuroLeague Fantasy Challenge Podcast. I am Frankie Sachs. I'm here with my co-host, who is very, very far away. Javier Gancedo, tell the people where we are.
Yeah, hello everybody. Hello Frankie. Well, I'm in Atlanta because I came here to record some interviews for documentaries that will come in the future. And I'm staying here. I mean, next week, it looks like I'm changing backgrounds every podcast. But yeah, next week I'm going to be in Texas. So yeah, it's a hell of a ride. I've never been here, and it's amazing. It's a great city. I pretty much recommend it. It's lots of things to see here.
So has the time on the airplane helped you build the perfect fantasy team?
Not really, because I had an aisle seat and everybody was bumping on me like every 3 minutes, and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't check anything. It was a complete nightmare, I have to say. But
maybe we should put a poll on our Twitter feeds and see. I think that most guys, certainly guys who are at least 1.85 meters and taller, are window seat guys. So you can sort of lean in there. Women, my wife with smaller bladders, they are aisle seat people.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go. It's almost, I would say 90% of the people in one group and the other will go like that. Anyway, thank you everybody. We broke records last week with the podcast of Sasha Vazenkov. We'll promise to bring, since you like it, we're gonna bring some more special guests before the end of the season. But right now it's just you and me, man. And we have a limited trades and a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about. I've got to tell you, this I think is the toughest week to make a team all season. Not just because this specific week it might be a bit tricky to figure out the coaches, which we'll talk about later. But the first week of the season, you can sort of look at domestic games, see how players have been playing, get a feel for rotations. Now it's all up in the air. We don't really have a feel for the rotations. Players have been away. Some players have been practicing. Guys are getting into the rhythm. Coaches have had 2 weeks to build a game plan just for this week's game. I feel like I have no handle on what to expect for round 27, and that's very tough when you have unlimited trades.
Yeah, and some players having to make continental trips to play with the national teams. It's difficult. But yeah, I mean, I think that people will stick to their same rotations, other than maybe Barcelona, because the same Ricky Rubio, he's already playing. He already made his comeback with the national team, and now he's expected to play against Monaco, and that's I think it's the most anticipated regular season game in many years in the EuroLeague, because on one side you have Rubio's return to the competition, and on the other side you have the possibility of seeing Mike James becoming the all-time top scorer. So he needs 29 points. And I think that's the first thing we should talk about. Like, is Mike James going to get it? Because if he's going to get it, with 29 points, he'll have a PIR of 30-something. And then he'll be a must-even team captain next week, right?
Yeah, I have a team captain for Thursday night. But I also have Mike James sitting there waiting to be my team captain on Friday night. Yeah, I think everybody should have him. I'm going to certainly ride Mike James until he has the record. And I think we could see a huge performance out of him.
Well, I'm not going with Mike James. I went through, yeah, because I saw that his highest score against Barca is 20 points. Throughout his career, he never scored more than 20 points against Barca. And he didn't score 29 this season. So I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to think that he's going to break the record at home. And I signed Wade Baldwin, who has been amazing lately, and I think he's going to play really well against Alba Berlin. I expect a really high-scoring game, and that's why Baldwin is in my team right now.
It's interesting you said that, because obviously we do not share our teams before this, and Baldwin is my Thursday captain, and based on how well he does, I can make that decision whether to go with him, to keep him as captain or go with James. But I agree with you. I think that that game, Maccabi Alba Berlin, will be a lot of points, and I have 4 players from that game in my lineup.
Mm-hmm. Which ones?
Josh Nebo, who I have to say I'm a little bit nervous about at center because of Kumaje, but I think that Maccabi will try and push the pace, and hopefully his speed will neutralize Kumaje a little bit. Di Bartolomeo, who, at 4.7 credits is not a big investment, but we'll see what comes of it. And Gabriel Partida.
I have Nebo, I have Baldwin, and I have Maltedello. He's been playing better. He's always seen a lot of playing time, but now he's taking more responsibilities in offense. And I also have Katash as head coach. So I'm going all in with Maccabi on Thursday. And then Friday, my main options are Žalgiris. Instead of going with Mike James, I'm sticking out with Keenan Evans, who has been amazing. Okay, he's going to play Olympiacos, and that's always tough. But because of World Cup, who's a great defender. But the fact that Kiedretis is not around gives Evans even more, let's say, more ball quota. He's going to have the ball more often. And I added also Thomas Dimsa because I think he's going to be taking all the shots that Kiedretis used to have. So that's why.
Yeah, I looked at a lot of the Žalgiris guys again. With this being a unlimited trades. I don't know. Did you strip your team completely and rebuild it, or did you keep a core base and just make a few changes?
I took everybody out but Evans, and then I rebuilt. I decided to go with Nebo and Tibor Pleiss. I went for being strong at the forwards, and I got Semi Ojalai of Valencia Basket playing against his former team, Virtus in Bologna. I think he'll be really motivated, but we talked this a million times. This can go one way or the other. He can have a great game. Maybe he'll have a horrible game. And then my second option for captain is Shavon Shields, who has been amazing lately. He plays as well. I think it's a good fit for him. And that's why, and it's a must-win game for Milano. So I think Shields will do very well on Friday, and that's why I'm keeping him waiting to see what Baldwin does on Thursday.
So I stripped my team completely except for James. I knew I was keeping no matter what. And I went for a slightly different team build than usual with 6 superstars. And I balanced it also. So I would have 3 superstars going on Thursday and 3 on Friday so I could make the appropriate changes. So my centers are Nebo and Serge Ibaka, who I have not had all season long. But I like Serge Ibaka after coming back from the break. I think that he's due for a big game. He's played very well lately, so those are my centers. At forward, I already told you I have Potida, and I have I'm going for Toko, also going against his former team, but that is not why. Just a superstar, and I feel like I'm right now I want to have as many superstars to ride down the stretch. Nikola Mirotic, who had a very big game before the break. I don't know if both him and Shields will have big games, but we'll see. Mirotic does not disappoint often. Coming back from the injury, I wanted to wait, and he had 2 okay games. Third game was big. I'm looking for big things. And then Tariq Biborovic, who, again, ending the bench, leads the league in 3-point shooting by percentage, by the way.
True.
And if he gets the minutes, he can make an impact. He probably will not play and will just sit on my bench, but for his price, I thought that was worth it. And at guards, I've got Wade Baldwin, I've got Mike James, everybody knew that. Di Bartolomeo, I said, and my fourth guard is Alexa Avramovic, who I think many people have at 5.5 credits going Thursday. Also, a good gamble. But if I just need 3 good players for my turn 1 players, for my Thursday players, because then I can bring back Mike James, Serge Ibaka, and Mirotic, and I still have a strong lineup no matter what. And for coach, Pablo Lasso. It's a bit risky, but I don't think there's any clear-cut coach. The matchups are very difficult this week.
It's very difficult.
The 2 teams that people like to choose against, Alba Berlin and as well, are both at home. And like I said before, every coach has had 2 weeks to think about round 27. So there could be upsets. Even when I said, do I want to spend money on Real Madrid undefeated at home against Panathinaikos? Ataman's planning something also. Right, there's no game I could look at and say it's guaranteed. So I said, all right, let me spend very little, I'm believing that Bayern is going to make a little run here down the end. This is an important game for them against Zvezda. If they can get that win, that gives them a little bit of a gap there, pushing for 10th place in the last spot in the play-in showdown. So I'm going Lasso and as I said before, Baca, and hoping for the best.
Yeah, I mean, other than the 2 Maccabi stars, we have very different teams, especially like the cheapest players who I think are going to be critical from now until the end of the season. Somebody who can give you an extra boost is always appreciated. I have Delo, like I said, I have Net Rivers of Valencia. Playing against Virtus, I figured out that since he played in Italy last year, he played really well. He could be, extra motivated to go back to Italy. I have McKissick against Žalgiris. I think his speed and his ball handling, his overall energy can play well against Ulanovas and Smiths. And then I have Dinsa, like I said. So yeah, it's very different. I like it. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, at no other point in the season would I have built a team. I think early in the season it's very risky to do what I'm doing. But at this point now, I feel like my 6 superstars are bona fide superstars. If anybody else steps up, that's a bonus. So that's the risky strategy. Usually I'm not the risky one. Usually you're the risky one, but I'm taking the big risk this week.
Yeah. But before we finish, I want to talk about the Rubio situation. How does it impact Barca? I guess that we'll see Djokovic at the 2 position more often than before, which I think is more natural for him, given his shooting skills, his quick first step, and we'll see Rubio sharing the point guard duties with Satoransky, right? I mean, that's the way I see it, at least. I think Satoransky and Rubio will share the 1 position, and we're not going to see Djokovic is taking care of business that often from now on.
Yeah, I think the one who will be hurt the most will be Jokubaitis. I think that Laprovitola and Satoransky will play a little bit more of the 2 when Rubio's around, which is good for them. More open shots. Laprovitola, I think, is shooting 40% from downtown this year. So, those pick and rolls that Rubio can cause some attention, dish the ball to him. That'll be great. I don't know how much. First of all, if this was beginning of the season, I'd be asking, do you think we'll see 3 guard lineups? At this point, I don't think we're going to see 3 guard lineups. I think it'll just be more Rubio as the season progresses. I don't know if we'll see so much of him, by the way, immediately. We'll see him play, but I don't know if we're going to see 20 minutes, 15 minutes in round 27.
I think the Grimao found some sort of stability in the starting lineup, going really, really tall with Satoransky, Kalinic, Da Silva, Vesely, and who was the other? And Parker. Mm-hmm. Two guys with 2 meters or over 2 meters. So, and I think he's gonna keep that lineup for a while until Rubio takes over, which I think is inevitable. He's gonna play if he's fit and he's feeling well. He's gonna play 25 minutes or more. But in the meantime, it's gonna be tough. Griezmann's gonna keep looking for mismatches, and that's where especially Parker has an advantage. So,
John Vesely and Hernan Gomez lead the league. They're top 2 in the league in permanent PER, right there.
Yeah.
Right. So the potential to now add Ricky Rubio there. I don't know how quick the chemistry will come, but when it comes, that makes all the inside players that much better. That pick and roll that much more dangerous. Again, I'm not expecting big things from Ricky Rubio immediately. I don't think anybody should. I think that he's overpriced right now. Sasha Vazenkov agrees. Javier, everyone's overpriced.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't touch him now. But I think if we're talking not fantasy and real basketball, he's a huge addition to Barcelona, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play. And as you said before, I could not agree more. I don't know when the last time we've had a more anticipated regular season game than this.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and instead of being in Barcelona, I'm in America, but I'm gonna miss it. But it's not for a good cause. So we'll see. Well, before we go, we have some things to say, which is, of course, we're looking for your comments. Please let us know what you think about the podcast. Let us know what you think about us. You can do it in the comments below. You can do it on Twitter. Frankie is at Mr. EuroLeague. I'm at Gancedo with double T. And anything that can help us, do better, we'll do it, really. I mean, we're looking forward to hear from you guys.
Let me summarize for you. The people love you. That's what you need to know. But yes.
Yeah, because everybody loves a loser, I guess.
But please, yes, we've really enjoyed this fantasy community that's grown, especially on Wednesdays and Thursdays before the games. People send messages asking about players. It's great. We'll share our lineups again, as we say all the time. The lineups that we told you today are not locked in. We'll put our final lineups out there on Thursday. If I forget, which occasionally has happened, shoot me, tag me on Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter, or Javi will remind me, and we'll put those lineups out there. But yeah, be in touch, keep building the fantasy community, and we're loving it.
Yeah, well, I'm the Twitter police, so you don't worry. I'll make sure that you put the team on. Even if I'm 7 hours behind you, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm watching.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we'll see you in a different part of the world again next week, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know where I'll be, but I think it's gonna be probably Dallas. So, and that's a hint of what we can do over there, or what we want to do over there. So,
Living out
stay
of the
tuned.
suitcase.
Yeah. Take care and enjoy the games, especially this FC Barcelona AS Monaco, which could be legendary. So keep an eye on that and all the other games in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. And don't forget to make your trades in the EuroLeague Fantasy Challenge. Remember, unlimited trades. Take advantage of that.
Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe.
Take care.